of playing a part of earning more so in 20 than in 24. But at this point in his career, what do you got?
I just had a thought. Keep going. I just had a thought.
But at this point in Dustin's career, he is a free agent at the end of the year. He has been injured for the greater part of the last 4 seasons. He needs to use as much runway as possible in a starting role to go out and try to get himself a maybe Walker Buehler type deal in the offseason or 2 years, something like that. He is pitching for a contract this year. Almost guaranteed is not going to be coming from the Dodgers. And if he's moving to the bullpen with the Dodgers, you're hanging with the boys, you have the vibes, you might win another World Series. But look at somebody like Brent Honeywell. He still doesn't have a job, and he was a vibes dude for this team last year. Very different scenarios. But that's where I can see Dustin kind of having that, please, if you can find me a spot where I can stay in the starting rotation, even if it is with the Pirates and David Bednar comes back in return.
Wait a minute. What about this just for a hot second? And I want to give credit here for just a minute to Riled Up 2. Dodgers are playing the Red Sox. The Red Sox have a freaking plethora of outfielders. We need an outfielder that can defend, that has a strong arm, that can hit the fucking baseball. The Dodgers could really use that. The Red Sox could really use another starting arm. Maybe that's I'm not saying 1 for 1. I'm not saying you're going to get Jarren Duran for Dustin May. I'm not suggesting that. But maybe there's a world that Dustin May becomes a Sock and Jarren Duran, Wilyer Abreu, not Ceddanne Rafaela. They're not going to let Ceddanne go. But would you entertain that? I mean, Andrew Friedman texted me back and said today that he's traveling. So, he's going, I'm assuming
going to Boston.
In Boston. I mean, they're here. Right?
What's funny is that's a spoiler to a video we're going to do on my All Dodgers channel later today. But if there are 2 teams that are in playoff contention with not necessarily with each other, and
they're not in the same division, so
they're
they
not
will
in the
trade
same
with
division.
One another.
They have been trade partners in the past for an outfielder.
I've heard that. I've heard that. Yes, Carl.
The Dodgers have a surplus of starting pitching, and the Boston Red Sox have a surplus of outfielders. The Dodgers desperately need a center fielder, somebody that is going to.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If Jarren Duran, which I would feel bad for Jeremy Meyer, our producer, because he's a big Sox fan. But if Jarren Duran came to the Dodgers, watch out, folks, because not only is he is dynamic on the base paths, he has an unbelievable amount of speed. The kid can hit a little bit. I mean, and certainly more than some of our outfielders right now.
Yeah.
There's
a package. There's a package to be had that obviously Dustin May is not the headliner in that. He is a throw-in similar to No. But again, similar to what we saw last year, the Dodgers offloading a James Paxton as well. The year before, much less important of a piece, but Noah Syndergaard. They trade these type of dudes, but they have the bodies to make something special, to make a good prospect haul, something that's going to entice the Boston Red Sox when it comes to starting pitching. If it is Dustin May, if it is somebody that's on the doorstep of being ready to go, Justin Wrobleski, come on down. He is somebody who is a pretty decent starter right now, and if they need a frontline top 50 pipeline prospect, Jackson Ferris will do more in a trade to bring back a center fielder than he's going to do for the team this year. I understand people would love to see Jackson Ferris, make his debut with the Dodgers in the bullpen. You kind of help fix your bullpen. He's not going to end up in the starting rotation because the Dodgers have a surplus. And these were some words from Andrew Friedman, not to us, but in this particular scenario, Bill Plunkett of the OC Register talking about, hey, that they're not going to have to go out and get a starter, which we know that is an expensive market to have to dip into at the trade deadline, but saying here we feel like they're going to have the most high-class problem possible, which is have more guys available than spots, and that's how you use them. You use them either your Emmett Sheehan or your Dustin Mays or Wrobleski in the bullpen to kind of get some guys in better spots, or you use them in trades for a Jarren Duran, for everybody else that I want is saying they're not getting traded. Your Byron Buxton's, Brent Rooker today on
I don't want Byron Buxton anyway. You think Tyler Glasnow is injured?
He hasn't been as hurt of late.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But you know when he'll get hurt? October. No, yeah. I interviewed Byron Buxton before he got. I flew to Baxley, Georgia, where he's from, and I interviewed him before he got drafted. Now look at him. He already has like a billion years of. Well, not really, because he's always hurt. But anyway. Okay, so they're not going to go after starters. They don't need to. I do definitely think they're going after a reliever. Even if Dustin May gets moved to the bullpen, I think they need another bullpen arm because you don't know how much you're going to get from Tanner Scott, how long he's going to be on the IL. Kirby Yates does not look good right now. Blake Trinan on the way back. Evan Phillips is out for the year. Kasperius doesn't look good right now, so I think they go after another arm.
We could throw this out real quickly. One name they won't be going after is Felix Bautista.
Yeah, this bummed me out, man. Yeah, that's who I wanted.
Because the Orioles are very clear sellers, so to not have him available, that really F's up the market just all around. But I liked this question. I had, where was it? Somebody had the question in the chat right here. John, if no trades are made, do the Dodgers win a World Series this year? And I say this because Brandon Gomes, GM of the Dodgers, also spoke with media this week, not us, but with reporters this week at Dodger Stadium, and he left the team a good bit of wiggle room to kind of, if they aren't busy or if they aren't exceptionally active or as active as we would like them to be at the trade deadline, he left a little wiggle room to say, like, we still believe in the guys that they have internally. The quote was, over the long haul. Well, yeah, obviously. He's not going to be like whatever John Boy wants Aaron Boone's players to be doing, like, oh my God, we need players or whatever. The reason Clayton Kershaw walked off of his interview because he didn't want to say anything to get himself in trouble. But Gomes said what a potential playoff team will look like. This group is really talented, and I would argue better than last year's team that won the World Series. And I agree with that. And I think a few things work out for this team.
I think it just depends on health. If they do absolutely nothing at the deadline, do I think this team is talented enough? Yes. But do I think the team is healthy enough? No. Everybody's got to come back healthy. You know what I mean? And you've got to be healthy at the right time. And you've got to be playing really, really good baseball at the right time. The defensive miscues, the sloppy play, that's not just plagued the Dodgers. It has plagued the Yankees as of late. Read Ken Rosenthal's comments about that in his article in The Athletic. The Yankees look like crap defensively. That's been a carryover, obviously, since Game 5 of the World Series last year. They are not a fundamentally sound defensive team. The Yankees are not. Red Sox are up there in terms of errors. They play really shitty defensive baseball. The Dodgers have looked sloppy. Dave said it the other day, right? That this was like kind of rock bottom. You're not going to win a World Series playing defense this way. Do I think the Dodgers can fix it? Absolutely. The Yankees have been bad defensively for a long time. It's not just this year. So, can they win a